Thank you all so much for coming out to Malvern Books tonight. We're super excited to be hosting the launch of Valerie Hsiung's new book from Dalton Action Books. And we're also very excited to have Taisia and Dalton and Lisa out to read with Valerie. So without further ado, we're going to start with Dalton. Dalton Day is an MFA candidate in the New Writers Project at UT Austin and the author of 2 collections of poetry, Actual Cloud and Exit Pursuit, as well as several chapbooks, including To Breathe, I'm Too Thin. His poems have been featured in Hobart, Hank, Everyday Genius, and Shabby Dollhouse, among others. He has a dog named Dot, who is the opposite of the crushing emotional weight that comes with being alive. It's too true. Too true. Dalton.
Hi. How are you doing?
Good.
You don't have to lie.
Really bad.
Yeah. Thank you, Valerie, for inviting me here for this. This is really great. And thank you all for coming on a Tuesday night for poems. Cool. This poem is about trying to speak to someone who can't speak back. Spooky action at a distance. The chickens are gone. You should have received the memo explaining how this is only a memory. Drinking wine in an open field is so deliberate. Yes, I'm rolling my eyes. And the dumb filament in this place is fading fast, not fast enough. Like the moon? Me too. Anyone who doesn't is all right, I suppose. I'm crucial and wonder why that page in the dictionary remains. Hee hee. I miss you. Now, if you'll look over here, let's watch it scatter. This poem is about trying to speak to someone who can't speak back. Spooky action at a distance. It caught after a few tries. My understanding of your new manner of thinking. The center of our small presence became a lemon and it stuck. See, me using my hand to dilute it before it hits my eyes. You know it was simply the sunlight you were talking about, don't you? In any box lies what can be solved among what can be asked. See, I'm trying to ask you what the box became. Am I asking you that now? The poem is about trying to speak to someone who can't speak back. Spooky action at a distance. My rhizomes have come unfastened. I'm not blaming anyone, at least not for the placement of certain swans upon certain surfaces of vague lakes. Making a myth requires no sweat, but then a person dies. It's a despicable companion, the 100 feet or so between you and the place where birds of prey are taught to just like, settle down, okay? I should be able to muster this much. Your shirts folded and stacked in front of your bed, patient. This poem is about trying to speak to someone who can't speak back. Spooky action at a distance. If you have to ask if that substance on the grass is barbecue sauce, then I'll return in a few hours wrapped in wasps and any other theatrics you care to see. I like it when you laugh, and there's a reason for that, and that reason has little to do with the plastic bag hanging in that tree, but it does have a little to do with it, like I said. Give me 2 edges and I'll give you a useless way to describe the sunset. A machine big enough to stand in. A machine big enough to understand when a lie is the best option. Be right back. This poem is about trying to speak to someone who can't speak back. Spooky action at a distance. At night, I extend our mutual and failing aquarium. No fish here, just the wall of buttons that, when pressed, elicit a response from the fish. Zooming out, it's the rest of the town, swollen with static, exploding with flora. In the morning, I'll use materials at hand to relearn the word morning. Sticks mostly, meant to poke the dead, dying thing now in your home with, mostly. It's a hope, written in smoke, i.e. illegible, and if it isn't for you, then. This poem is about trying to speak to someone who can't speak back. Spooky action at a distance. Your favorite equine statue has been taken over by horns, like brass. I'm right, I could have made it easier to know what we were in command of comforting. It's the aqueduct that's most relatable that ends up bearing the brunt of your observations. You're close. Make up for expiration dates by continuing to cherish the fizz, like soda. I'm beginning to think terrestrially. Jump. The horse, the one you buried, had quite the perspective, but that's not because you loved it. This poem is about trying to speak to someone who can't speak back. Spooky action at a distance. I've read about the condors being produced in California. It's not looking good for organisms prone to deteriorate. Believe in that kind of thing, though, in spite of car alarms in the Midwest. Attention begs to manifest. Variations of surprise don't. Open the present given to you by the reticent joggers of the town's dead. But you should know this up front. Mine's already been lost twice. This poem is about trying to speak to someone who can't speak back. Spooky action at a distance. The fire is here, and that's all we're going to get out of this song. Change it. I put my finger to my chin whenever a neuron starts firing. To say that free of rust, I'm full of ambulances. I've got somewhere to be, I was promised. I don't begrudge any old disappointment. The proof of immediate aversion to not breathing it in is distal. Whistle while we work is an action I'd like to work on. I like it a lot. How the more you lean towards it, the more your face changes into, for lack of a better word, yours. This poem is about trying to speak to someone who can't speak back. Spooky action at a distance. Splitting the sand apart with our feet 1 minute, and the next we're two scientists being asked to change the world. Save? This head of mine won't stop falling off. Sell it to the river along with the harmonicas we found in a fragrant pile of coats. Home can be dangerous, especially without proper iodization. Let's contain more. The dirty path, bookended with natural phenomena, twirls no matter what. There are two scientists remaining in America, and they won't stop kissing anytime soon. Thank you.